Emily Ferguson, Alex Murphy, and Shannon Webster. So now I'd like to share something. Over the years, as I've walked the halls of PDCI, I would sometimes think, usually not alone. Good evening, fellow graduates, proud family members, esteemed educators, and Mr. McNamee. We gather here tonight for a very momentous occasion, and I'll make it brief to save time for Crafter's musical performance at the end. Just joking, it's not happening. Alright. Wow, look at you guys. The last time I saw this many relieved faces was last Wednesday when Madame Stewart's class ended. Got the French award. Right. As you can see, this year the teachers decided to all sit on the stage for the ceremony. Now, I know you're probably thinking they're going to be handing out awards and they're just too old to walk up and down the steps, right? They are to hand out the awards. But that's just not true. Some are old, some are just lazy. Just joking, teachers love you. In my opinion, the reason they're on stage is to demonstrate that although they're not in a play or a musical, they're all stars in their own right. Now, writing the speech wasn't an easy task. When planning for tonight, I thought of many things. I thought of talking about our first day in grade 9 and how utterly scared and confused we all were. I thought of talking about the various teachers that come to work here every day imparting knowledge to their students. I thought of talking about lunch and how every day at 10:45 we would all sit together in the cafeteria as a community. I thought of talking about the long nights we all experienced putting the finishing touches on that essay or that display board. I thought of talking about what I wanted to talk about. Then I thought of talking about thinking about what I wanted to talk about. Then I thought about eating pizza pockets. I was hungry, just being honest. I guess what I'm trying to say is I get sidetracked easily. But isn't that what high school was all about? Getting sidetracked? I don't know how many projects I finished over the years only after witnessing a night-long struggle between Facebook, the TV, and Microsoft Word. But you know, getting sidetracked doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sure, there's the sidetrack where you're distracted from focusing on whatever task it is that you're trying to do in the moment. But what about the other type of sidetrack you can get? The type where you'll be focusing on one thing in life and then something else comes along and you decide to commit yourself to it completely. I think when this happens, when you free yourself from a narrow focus and open your mind to other possibilities, that's when you can discover what truly makes you happy. And I think that's a lesson that a lot of us have learned throughout our 4 years here at PDCI. Now, of course you are very happy. It's commencement night. You've been waiting for this night forever, and now you can finally get on with your life. I am, of course, talking to you, parents. Yes, tonight is a very special night. This commencement marks the first year that more teachers will be leaving PDCI than students. Just kidding. It's an exaggeration, but still, seriously. Anyways, we did a lot these past 4 years. They went by fast. Who am I kidding? They went by slow as hell. So, what am I supposed to talk about right now? Anything, really. To be honest, I didn't really know what I want to talk about tonight. Honestly, I do now, because I'm being on the tape. But naturally, I've written a 20-minute speech. Don't worry, I'm kidding. It's 19 minutes. Come on, guys. I think I deserve a little stage time. But seriously, we made a lot of great memories together over the past few years. We got here in grade 9, not really knowing what to expect, but we got into the flow of things, and there were some great times. I might even say there were battles. I don't know about you, but honestly, to me it all seems a blur. But there are some things I can't forget, like grade 9 gym class, because it was awful, and Mr. Mariner's seemingly constant shouts of "let's get a jigger jogger going on." Or the cheery disposition with which Mr. Funston greets his class every day. "Hello, class." Get that most days, sometimes not so true. But in fact, there are many things I'm sure we all can't forget. All the memories of hearing about parties, the memories of getting ready for parties, and then the memories of driving to parties, the memories of waking up after parties, and of course the school-related memories as well. We all have memories of the many talent shows that took place on this very stage, the many other assemblies, rehearsals, dances, lunches, classes, bombs, fundraisers. It was a water device. Holiday holidays, who could forget those? Bringing on banana days. Then, of course, who could forget sports? There was the football, and then the volleyball, and the basketball. Table tennis. Then the fake sports like track. Yeah, but it's true, I literally didn't do any sports, mostly because I was busy, not because I suck. Okay, I do suck. Just not the strongest guy. Elliot high-fived me last week and broke my arm in 4 places. Also, who wouldn't remember how Summit, winning the House Cup, but although Mick Martin was the obvious champion. There was the time with Mr. McNamee, dressed up in a cow costume and almost fell off the cafeteria table. Halloween dressed up your teacher fashion show. Or how about the timeless classic that you live performed at our last talent show? So, fellow graduates, we laughed together, some of us cried together, we ate together, traveled together, worked together, and now we graduate together. We experienced highs from finally finishing our last high school exams to lows, like experiencing the unfair and tragic loss of people we held dear. Now, obviously, standing here officially graduating tonight, there are many people I want to thank. I want to thank my parents for never nagging me to do my schoolwork too much, which is probably the reason I don't hate it completely today. I want to thank the rest of my family for being as supportive as they have been over the years. I want to thank my friends for their many caring gestures and wise words. Obviously kidding, but thanks for the fun times. I want to thank Mr. Weckworth from Guidance for all the helpful appointments that started with the discussion of course selection or university and ended with me ranting about the state of today's education system. Thanks to Mr. Bannon, also now in Guidance. I had him as a teacher, history teacher as well, for also playing a large role in my future. I'd like to thank Madam Stewart for her support as I navigated Students' Council and life in general over the past 4 years. This has nothing to do with her French classes, though. I also want to thank Mr. Munson, obviously, for all of the interesting conversations we've had over the years, as well as his academic guidance and support in general, and his friendship. And of course, I need to thank the wonderful people who've made the school run over the years, the office staff, including Ms. Norlock, Stinson, and Ms. Bolger, all the custodians, lovely cafeteria ladies, and a stupid robot thing that never fails to tell your parents when you skip. Now, most of all, I want to thank Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the inventors of Google. Without your caring support, Clary and Sergey, I wouldn't have passed any of my classes. We have some friends out there too. And now, graduates, I want to talk about us. We came from many different elementary schools, all with very different personalities, into this one place, PDCI. And somehow, miraculously, we became the unified graduating class that we are today. Now, sure, we may have had our differences. You may not have been super good friends with the odd person, but let's be honest, they were so odd, no one liked them anyway. Sorry, my name's Stuart. Yeah. Joke. In the end, we all pretty much got along, is what I'm trying to say. And I think that's a testament to the ability of the class of 2011 to work together. A skill that will no doubt prove invaluable to us as our lives move forward. Now, obviously, it's hard to be retrospective at this point when school really only ended a few days ago. But I think that one thing we can be sure of is that our time at PDCI has, above all, prepared us for the challenges that we will face as we forge our own paths in the world. We've learned, as I said, to work together, also to communicate, to think critically. Some of us have refined our skills in the arts or sciences, while others have developed their finesse in a sport or their proficiency in the workshop. My only advice would be, and be because I'm standing behind a podium, I'm obviously in a position to give advice. But it would be that we not take ourselves too seriously. Now, I also have to take this to heart. I think it's something everyone has to work on. So we all do it sometimes. It's human nature to care about what other people think. And because of that, looking good in everything we do suddenly seems so important. This is especially amplified in high school. But although this is a fact of life, and I think it's inevitable, I also believe it's true that this kind of thinking creates a lot of anxiety when there need be any. Not just in academics, but really in all areas of life. Especially just having completed grade 12, I think we can all agree that life can be very stressful. And the stress comes from the fear of looking bad, the fear of failing. But I've been told many times, no matter what, no matter how hard you try, you will fail. And not just by Miss Carpachussi. I'm sure we've all failed in one thing or another. The thing is, if you don't take yourself too seriously when those failures do occur, at least you'll be spared much of the pain that comes when your pride is hurt, which then leaves you the clarity that you need to ensure that you're successful in the future. And I'm not saying we shouldn't try or that we should welcome failure. I'm just saying it seems to be unavoidable. So rather than foolishly hoping that it never comes, we should expect it, so that when it does, we'll be ready to use it as a learning experience and as a springboard that can only push us to new heights. And if we accept that failure will sometimes come, life suddenly seems a lot less serious. And I think this is a good thing. After all, if we spend all our time worrying about one thing or another, life's going to pass us by. So expect failure, get sidetracked, two important things to remember. Now, some names of people who paid to be in the speech. Alex Murphy, Brock Ogilvy, Alex Ansel, Jamie Gardner, Jessica McCann. Another important quality I'm trying to get across tonight is entrepreneurship. Alright, now tonight above all is about two things. First, it's about the fact that I'm currently unemployed for the summer and have vast extracurricular retail and camp experience. You can reach at 613-2640. Second, tonight is about discovery. For the first time, we're discovering what it's like to be done in high school. It's exciting but nerve-wracking at the same time. Tonight we discover what it feels like to take the first steps toward realizing our futures. We're moving forward with our lives, and at this point, the possibilities are endless. And tonight we discover what our principal and vice principal look like. I'm kidding. And now, before we're finished, I think it's important that we all remember this moment. Seriously. Because right now, in the midst of all the worries and crazy happenings in the world, we are PDCI Blue Devil graduates. Amen. So when the ceremony is over, we'll officially be done high school forever. It's not like college or university where you might continue your schooling, and of course if you're working, that's going to go until you die. But this chapter of our lives is done. And sure, when you think back to this in 10, 20, or 30 years, you may not care. But at the same time, I think it's hard for anyone to deny the impact that their high school years had on them. I know that when I started here 4 years ago, I was in many ways a completely different person. I was somewhat more awkward, probably a little more annoying, and a lot stupider. Now, although I'm still not sure where my life will lead, I at least know how to do the laundry. I hope you do too. Tonight we celebrate because we leave here with the skills we need to succeed in our new lives, with a sense of pride, and with several unreturned English books. I know I'm going to enjoy 3-day road for years to come. Just joking. So, fellow graduates, let's remember this moment, but let's also move on and not look back. I don't want to say that these were the best years of our lives because 1, I know that they weren't for some people. 2, I know that wherever our futures take us, there's still many more good times to be had. That being said, I'm still confident that when we're all old and worn out, we can look back on our time here and take comfort in knowing some of the best friends we ever made, some of the best times we ever had were here at PDCI.